to say for a long time, but didn't quite have the words for it, and I didn't want it to kind of be misconstrued as something more negative about me. I have made sense, and I am ready to share. Super lazy person, aka, and a super lazy personal trainer, and I am not afraid to say that because there is more to it than just I'm a lazy personal trainer slash person. Be like a fresh breath of air for you because like you don't need to exert so much energy. I think what's going on with like the personal training and like the health and fitness and whatever industry is that you are told that you have to, in order to be healthy, you have to exert an X amount of energy in everything that you do. You have to go from like lazy on the couch, not food prepping, and all these things to like, I'm going all in, I'm going gung ho. And then after like a week, or maybe like, you know, even maybe a month, maybe you make it a month, or maybe just a couple days, you start to burn out after a while. You start to lose that initial fire that you had. I really want to normalize this, like, you know, peak of like, oh shoot, let's do this, like energy of like motivation and like you're ready to go, let's do this, let's drop the body fat, let's meal prep, let's do all the things. Take that energy and convert it into sustainability and energy that like is way more sustainable. Like, be as lazy about the energy aspect as possible because it's really about conserving the mental and actual actions towards what you're trying to do versus taking the very two steps that make the 80% of progress. I personally, from my own experience, have gone from the type of person that's like super type A, super like it has to be exact, the measurements have to be on point, I have to make sure I use 10 different containers, and then I have different 10 containers to wash by the end of the day, and then I have to like make sure I fill them back up with more and put it back in my lunch bag and get ready for work and eat them all up all throughout the day and do the whole thing all over again. So much energy and time and bandwidth into this. I could have been more lazy about it and still gotten the same results. 2026 fitness and nutrition era to be the era where you're not exerting as much energy as possible because that's where you burn out the quickest. It's if you're trying to be healthy and you're trying to implement more healthy routines, healthy habits, and you're trying to lose some weight that maybe you've gained over the last couple of years, it's not about the amount of like exertion you put into it. It's not an amount of like dopamine peaks that you have and all of that. Just about systematizing the process of these two moves that I'll share with you right here. To be as lazy as I want, as long as I get these two things done, every other part of my life, I'm a lazy person. And honestly, like I am not ashamed of that because it doesn't mean anything about my character if I'm still able to do the Pareto effect of like the 80% of my effort is not actually what gets my results, it's the 20% of the rest of the effort that I put in actually gets me the results. So that when I actually show up and I actually, you know, put myself in the right rooms, people still see that I have done the work and that I'm not lazy, and that represents myself much better. However, you put in a lot of effort into your work and you do take it very seriously. And so, if you want to apply the same principles into your health and fitness and you actually want to make progress in that arena, just implement these two things. Is not getting in at least 100 grams of protein a day. And if you were to do that, implementing more protein at a daily basis, your body composition will change immensely. Pick 3 days a week to do strength training. You can go upper, lower, full body, or any variation of that, but I would have one of each. If you eventually want to just do 3 full bodies a week, go for it. But if you're like in the very beginning, it's been a while since you've done strength training, I would go with that first. Clients that I've been working with have found that just by doing these two things alone have helped them drop pant sizes, drop body fat, have helped them build muscle that they've not seen like in a very long time, if not ever. From going from a cardio bunny back in high school to realizing that implementing just these two things has changed my body composition immensely. Like I do not look the same. I might weigh the exact same, but I don't look the same at all. Soft and fluffy and cardiovascularly, I was amazing. I could, you know, run pretty darn far and fast, but in terms of my strength, I was not up there. Muscle is like investing in the stock market where you just do a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here, and after a while it compounds on itself, and you realize that the muscle building does the work for you because it burns way more calories after you work out, more than doing cardio where you could just walk and walk and walk and it's great movement and you're burning calories, and the harder you pump your heart, the better you are cardiovascularly, but after you do the cardio, it stops, and therefore you are just relying on your BMR, your TDEE, which, and you're just not getting the same results as if you were to have just trained your muscle to failure, to soreness, and to whatever the case is, so that you are actually building muscle on a month to month basis. Still led you to, okay, so that's a different strategy, that's a different process that I may or may not have heard or learned about before or even tried before. But there is still a lot of nuance to it, right? There's still a lot of like, well, what should I do about this and what should I do about that? And so I'm totally open to answering any questions either down below, or if you find me on my different socials, I can either link them down below or look up my name on different socials, and it should be pretty easy to find, to ask me these questions and possibly even work one on one and figure out what works best for you. So, yeah, hopefully that was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys next time. To be lazy because it just means that you are thinking more strategically about how you want to exert your energy, right? Self lazy, or if other people call you lazy and they identify you as that, as to be negative about your character and whatnot, maybe you need to get better and make it more of a positive thing where you can be lazy in a positive way. Don't exert your energy on things that don't matter. Actually scale it back a bit and just do the actions that matter the most and make the biggest impact.